Hello, everybody. Welcome to Karen's Stamp Pad. My name is Karen Scott, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Edmonton, Alberta. So, welcome. This is not my usual time. I am usually on Thursdays at 4 o'clock. But last Thursday, when I was doing some cards featuring the Irresistible Blooms stamp set, there was one card that I had said might look good as a sticker card. So what I've done is put together some stuff that we can make a shaker card with. And I thought I would just jump on, and it's just after 5, so live at 5. So anyway, come on in and let's make a shaker card using the Irresistible Blooms. And just a side note that Stampin' Up! Has sold out of the Irresistible Blooms, but will restock. And I believe I read that it is May 1st that they should be back in stock. So you can get your hello, Margaret Ann. You can get your bundle then, or your suite then. And so because of that, I thought I would throw together another card, shaker card, using the Happiness Abounds stamp set and dies. And the cards that I've done in the past with that suite has basically used just the die cut flowers out of the designer series paper. But this time I'm going to pull in some that I have done with the emboss resist, which I did in my last video. And so if you haven't seen that, or you don't know how to do emboss resist, check out the video. It's in the link below. So let's just jump right into it. So I will turn my camera down. And I've gone ahead and pre-done some of the, I did the emboss resist technique and colored in my flowers and leaves and that kind of thing. So the only thing, and pre-cut my paper. So the only thing left to do is really to die cut the front and for the shaker cards. So anyway, but I will do that, and we'll go from there. So anyway, hang on and let me put my camera down. Okay, blank screen. So let me start. I'm going to start with the Irresistible Blooms set, and I am going to do a portrait card. So I have cut an 11-inch by 4 1/4, and it's scored at 5 1/2. And I have another piece that is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then I've cut a piece of the designer series paper that comes with the Irresistible Blooms suite. And it is just a smidge smaller than your cardstock that's going to go over top of it. And so that is 3 7/8. So it's only an 1/8 of an inch smaller by 5 1/8. Ooh, didn't know I'd remember that. So I'm just going to burnish my edge here so it lays down flat. I'm going to bring in my cut and emboss machine. And good afternoon, Inez. Thank you for joining me. I noticed that when I go in, because I'm using StreamYard now to set up and video both on Facebook and in YouTube, that as soon as I enter the what do you call it? Studio, I guess they call it. And then shows that I'm prepared to do a thing, to do a video, and I've been I did that. I started just after 4. So I don't know if everybody's been waiting since then, but anyway. Okay, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to take that one piece of cardstock, your 4x5 1/4, and I'm going to I showed these dies the other day, but these are the dies that come in the Irresistible Blooms. And this is the die that I'm going to use for the shaker card. I'm going to center it and run it through my machine. Okay. We'll just take out the little pieces. Well, thanks for sharing, Margaret Ann. Oh, thanks. You're so sweet, Inez. I love shaker cards. I seem to do a lot of these, but anything I can make a shaker card out of, I will. I love them. My kids love them. They love giving them as birthday cards for their friends. So let me just grab my strips. And the other thing that I am using, I need to cut another piece of that. Wasn't prepared, obviously. Okay, so we're going to take this, and before I put my machine away, I want to emboss just like I did the other day. I'm going to remove these 2 plates, bring in my number 4 plate, and my embossing folder. Which has a bunch of stuff all over it. I have a new one, but this is the Painted Texture 3D embossing folder, and I am just going to give it a little texture. So let's run that through first. And then we'll set this aside. We'll bring it back in for the next card. Okay. There we go. Little bit of texture. Put those aside. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over on the other side, and I'm going to cut down my piece of, well, it's exactly 4 inches on the side. So I'm going to cut it down just a little bit, just so it doesn't show on the sides. So let's cut it down to about 3 3/4 of an inch, and that should be by 4 1/4. So 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. There we go. Okay. So now I'm going to bring in my embossing strips that I just had. A minute ago. Oh, there they are. Okay. And I'm going to peel some off. And I'm going to put them around. I'm not going to put it right on directly on the outside, but I want it to hold up my card. When it's sitting on top. And there we go. You could cut this and join them up, but there's no need. They bend. Oops. Get my fingers in the scissors. Okay. And we're going to peel this off. Excuse me. Okay. I think I've been talking too much today. I'm dry. Okay, so let's pull back in our card base and our designer series paper, and we're going to attach our designer series paper. And like I said in my last video, the designer series paper, I'm down to the last few bits. I think the only things I have left are the pieces that have, I think it's Daffodil Delight that they have in there, and Lost Lagoon, which is a returning color. And I don't have any Lost Lagoon. So I've got all of these pieces of paper with Lost Lagoon that I have to wait until I can order the stamp pad and coordinating cardstock. But every other color that I have, I've used. So the other thing that I'm going to bring in is, I showed in the last video, these are sequins, and they are called For Everything Fancy Sequins. And you get these 3 in a box, and there is a lot of sequins in here. So you can make a lot of shaker cards or decorate with the sequins on the outside, which we might just do. And so it's $21 for the three packages, but so far I've made quite a few shaker cards, and they've I still have lots left. So I'm going to use the pink ones. I'm just going to lay this flat. So these are easier to use than the little balls that go rolling. And I'm going to use quite a few. There's little gold sequins in there. There's iridescent pink and white, and they're really, really pretty. Whew, that's lots. See, and I still have a lot left over. Okay, so then I'm going to take my piece of cardstock with my strips on the back, and I'm going to try and line this up. Now, the reason I cut the designer series paper a little smaller was just in case I'm not perfect. I'm not going to see the designer series paper sticking out on the side, and I'm not perfect. This is looking a little off, but that's okay. I don't see anything. So there we have that. And this is, I forgot to mention, this is petal, or not petal. Yes, it's petal pink that I'm using. And so there we have that. I've gone ahead, like I said, and done some Irresistible Blooms. Let's get the right color. Irresistible Blooms. Coordinating flowers, and they're already done and die cut. And so you just place them wherever you'd like. And I have a sentiment as well out of the stamp set. So let me bring in the stamp set and just show you again. This is the stamp set and the sentiment thank you I'm going to use. And I'll bring in some Stampin' Dimensionals. And I'm going to pop the big one out. Now I want my sentiment here, and it is rather big, so I think I will do that. Put this up here. Or maybe not. Nope. I'm going to put that up here. Take my liquid glue. And put that down. Okay. I'm going to pop up my sentiment. If you don't have one of these take your pick tools, they are a godsend. I just love them. I've got quite a few actually. And so they help peel off your Stampin' Dimensionals and the backings off them. It helps. It has a putty end on it to help pick up your if I wanted to bring this in, look, it picks that up. I can put glue on that and stick it down. It takes off little, what do you call them? Rhinestone, jewels, that kind of thing. So it's worthwhile investing in. And do we want to cover up? I don't want it to look too gaudy, but I don't know that. The sentiment is so big. So, all right, let's just put this on here. Jeez, I just heard myself growling. I apologize. I used to do that with my little ones when they were little. Till they started taking after me and doing it. Okay. Hello, Kathy. How are you? Oh, thank you, Margaret Ann. Bless me. Okay, so here's one, and we can. I'll pull out some. Oh, some pearls, some pearl basic jewels, and put those on. Just a few, just to spruce it up. Whoops. All right. So there's a few. So there's our first card. Now I have the centers. You know, piece of cardstock that you can put in. We'll just do that. And what I've done is gone ahead and you can take, there is a splatter stamp that is in the set, and you can take that and just stamp that on the side if you want. I have, because you have a lot of scraps left over when you're cutting the designer series paper, I've gone ahead and just cut a strip of the designer series paper, and I'm going to put that in and just adhere that right there. Here we go. So that's our inside. You can stamp a sentiment in there if you like, or just, I'm just leaving it for writing whatever I want. But there is there's the first card, and that's using the Irresistible Blooms. And like I said, yeah, that is funny. I call out my daughters. Wow. That's cute, Inez. Okay, so as I said, the Irresistible Blooms is sold out until, let's hope, fingers crossed, May 1st, and then you can get your hands on this suite if you don't already have it. But if you do, there you go, little card idea, shaker card. And if you don't, and you have the Happiness Abounds. Let's go there now. So I just found with the Happiness Abounds, you can, you can do, when you do the emboss resist, any color you want, and find yourself a piece of designer series paper in the color that of the cardstock that you choose. I love the and I don't know what I did with it. There it is. The Blushing Bride. That is my favorite pink. And the Dainty Delights designer series paper had some Blushing Bride in it. And so I cut that out. And so, like I said, this piece of designer series paper is cut down 1/8 of an inch smaller than the cardstock. So let's start with this. This is, again, 11 by 4 1/4, and it's scored at 5 1/2. Your piece of cardstock that's going to go on top is 5 1/4 by 4, and then your designer series paper, you want 1/8 of an inch smaller, and it's going to be 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. God, hate those 8s, but then you can line things up and be a little off. Okay, so we're going to do that. Adhere the designer series paper. Now what I've done is, and depending on what dies you have, you can use a circle die. There's the layering circle dies. I'm going to use an oval, and this one is from an older set that I have, and it is the Stitched Shapes dies. So let's bring in our cut and emboss machine again. So we're going to do the same things we did with the last one. And I'm just going to center this and die cut that out. And before I put this away, I'm going to take these off, bring back in my embossing folder, put this in, and don't mind all the glue that's all over it. It's been well loved. And like I said, I have a new one. This one, it's coming apart at the seams. Don't know how much life it has left. So, and this is my favorite embossing folder. So I know I need to stock up before I don't know if they're going to be rolled over into the new catalog or not. We'll find out. But I will have to stock up on it. So now let's bring this back in, and you're going to have to give me a second to cut my sheet, window sheet, because I forgot. And that's how it goes. So what did I say? 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. So all right, let's see if that fits. Dum, 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 dum. Yay. Okay, it fits. I was right. All right. So let's take our glue. And attach that. Okay, and again, our strips. So the only difference with this one is it's just an alternative. If you have this suite, it really is. I love this suite. I don't know if it's going to roll over into the new catalog as a bundle. I know that if the stamp set and dies roll over as a bundle, the designer series paper won't. So you can always stock up on that. I'm going to put that here because that designer series paper is, I just love it. Love it. Made so many beautiful cards with that. Okay, so we have this. Put that aside. Again, we're going to bring this in. I'm just going to lay it totally flat. And I am going to bring back in the pink sequins, and these totally match. And I thought I would do this. I know for some people, shaker cards are so easy, but I was talking to a friend lately who shaker cards seem to be a challenge for her. So, well, I've done quite a few videos on shaker cards, but what's one more? You know, you might not have caught the first 100, but okay. So now I'm going to stand up and try to line this up again. I really like the oval shape of this. Dun, 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 dun. All right, and I went ahead and did the emboss resist with the Happiness Abounds flowers and leaves, and gone ahead and die cut them. So it's just a matter of decorating again. So, and I do have a stamped sentiment from that stamp set, and it says happy birthday on it. And I've used the rectangle stitch, or the stitched rectangle dies to cut that little one out. And, you know, I don't know, happy birthday. This almost looks like such a pretty pink that could be used as a baby shower. And I do have some sentiments for a baby shower. And my sister-in-law is going to have a baby anytime soon. So I might have to think about putting one of these together for her. So let's pop this guy up again with our take your pick tool. And I don't want to cover up the sequins, but here we go. And I think I'll just put one right up here. And my sentiment. And I'm just going to go with happy birthday. And it's small enough, and that's what I wanted, that you could still see a lot of the shakers in there. So I'm going to put a small dimensional on one end and glue on the other end. And there we have it. So I think this is personally my favorite, but I love this stamp set and dies. So anyway, there's 2 shaker cards. So if you have the Happiness Abounds stamp set and dies, try doing a few shaker cards. If you don't have the Irresistible Blooms and you're waiting to order those, but there's an alternative. So bring both cards back in, and I don't know which one's your favorite, but personally, I like this one. So, oh, you know what? I forgot to put on my leaves, which will make a huge difference. Can't forget that. Add a little color and a little bling. I didn't put leaves on the other one either. Oh, shame on me. I'm doing half my job here. So I'll bring in my leaves from that one, and they might look a little bit more put together. Okay. Gotta watch. These are big ones. Gotta make sure that I can still fit it in the envelope. All right. So let me know what you think, which one you like the best. I like them both, but nah, not there. Oh, I'm going to leave that one off. So there we go. Now that they have the leaves on it, you can you can see. So Anyway, I hope I've given you some inspiration anyway to like I said, love shaker cards. So and they're simple and easy to put together, not that difficult. It looks harder than it is. So anyway, thank you for jumping on with me. Oh, thanks, Margaret Ann. You like them both. So thanks for jumping on with me. I know it's dinner time, and I heard my husband come home, so I guess I've got to go upstairs and get dinner ready. So my little impromptu video, I'm glad I had some people to talk to. Thank you. And until Thursday, I guess have an amazing week. So thank you again. Bye for now.